Hello, Jorim, welcome. If you can just share your experiences about how your health issues had been till the point we got in touch with KetoSpan, so that we can have a more detailed understanding of your case.
Sure. So I've been dealing with a lot of sinus and nose congestion since 3 years now. And I initially went the normal medical way. I went to my GP and he sent me to different specialists. They gave me antibiotics twice. They put a camera in my nose to find out it's not polyps. They found out it's not rhinitis. They found out it's not sinusitis. And I ended up with the nose specialist, and he said you just have to get used to it. And I I don't believe in that, right? I believe we can still go and understand what's going on, or at least find out something that helps. I did some alternative approaches with acupuncture that helped a little bit, with massaging, which helped but only momentarily, like acupressure and massaging. Um, Sauna didn't help. Steaming helped momentarily. Uh, Nasal rinses helped momentarily, and there was just an ongoing production of congestion, basically. So I could get rid of it, but it would be back there 5 minutes later or half an hour later. And then last year, I started changing my diet to a diet that was aligned with traditional Chinese medicine, which helped me to a certain degree. So until that point, what helped me long term was acupuncture, and then the second thing was changing my diet. That helped me, and I especially noticed in the first 2 months that I had less congestion. I could sleep on one side, and then the side that was up was free, but I could not sleep on my back. Oh, I could, but I had to breathe through my mouth. And then there was no continuous improvement anymore, and that led me to reach out to you. I was actually still being guided and doing that diet when I reached out to you, because I wanted to see what else there is. Diet had been a way of improving my health, but it hadn't gotten me to where I wanted. And in the beginning of November 2025, we started working on my diet and doing keto. I had just done a fast, 4 days water fast, and then started eating keto. And apart from about 2 or 3 weeks over Christmas that I didn't stick to it completely, I stuck to it. So over Christmas, I stuck to it throughout the main meals, but I did have other things on top, including sugars and flours and alcohol, and Um, so currently, I can breathe through my nose, through both nostrils. I can sleep on my back and breathe through my nose. Um, I think definitely, like now it's beginning February, all of January and now in February as well, I've been able to always breathe through my nose, not unobstructed, but I have been able to always breathe through through my nose. Sometimes it's easier to breathe through my mouth, but there's never been like 100% congestion, which is which is great because I had 100% congestion for about 2 years. That would only go away when I would exercise or do a rinse and then would come back 5 minutes later. Um, I know that there are other factors influencing the congestion, including weather, including humidity, especially. Um, and yeah, I'm curious how this is gonna continue going forward.
Very interesting, Jorim. I remember when we first spoke, you were mentioning about the headaches that
Right.
every day in the morning they would start, and by afternoon they would go away. And you were, I think, taking some anti-inflammatory or ibuprofen on a daily basis. So, how did that symptom evolve over the time?
You're right. I already forgot. So that was in October when I had the normal level of congestion for that time of my evolution in this, plus just the flu. But the flu was very painful with a lot of headaches, which led me to do the fasting actually. That was the trigger to do the fasting, which didn't really help that much regarding the pain. And I don't remember the last time I had a headache. So that's gone, and it's probably already gone since somewhere in November. Um, yeah, the headache was especially like on the forehead, where um, there used to be a lot of congestion as well behind my brows, kind of. I feel like I don't have the congestion there much anymore, and that is probably why I don't have the headache anymore.
Great, that's great because when we got in contact, we had been using keto for all kinds of diseases, type 2 diabetes, weight loss, and other metabolic syndrome related disease. But sinus and headaches was something that really we didn't have any past experience with. But the principles of keto and fasting is basically putting your body into a very anti-inflammatory state and letting the ketones do their work. So I'm very happy to see that it's produced some results, but yeah, we will continue this on a long-term observation, at least 1 year, because it takes that much time for the deep healing to take place. So we will be following up. But Jeremy, I want to ask you some questions, firstly related to when I explained you the diet and I showed you the food pyramid and the components of the food pyramid, was it very surprising or shocking for you? Was it something very strange for you? How did you feel first when I explained it? Uh,
Yes. I grew up eating almost no meat, and I grew up in a very healthy family where family members have healed diseases by going vegan, going lactose free, going vegetarian, these kind of things. And what you showed me was basically the opposite. So that was a shock, and it was a shock not just for me, also for family members who I had to tell, like, hey, by the way, I have a different diet now. Um, they were accommodating, not necessarily accepting of it.
okay. And in terms of your own diet change and diet adherence, how do you feel in terms of sticking to it? Is it very difficult? How do you compare it with other diets you may have tried? And in terms of your satiety, in terms of your feeling?
So yeah, we talked about satiety, and you told me that if I don't feel satiated, it's probably because of a lack of fat or lack of protein, but more likely fat. So I eat a lot of fatty meat, but I I have not gotten rid of the desire to snack. It's still there. There are some days when it's less, but I can eat 800 grams of a rib, and 2 hours later I want a snack. So that is something that I was hoping would get away, would not be present anymore, would go away, but I still have it. So that's still a challenge for me. Um, I've been trying to do intermittent fasting. I think now with bone broth at night, I can make it work. So I have a breakfast, big lunch, and then at night and in the afternoon and in the evening, I don't eat anything anymore except for bone broth. So that might also be another catalyst to healing. The desire to snack is definitely there, and I think the most difficult thing for me is I once texted you telling you that I had a lot of cravings for something sweet. And you told me, okay, just, go for it, but like really go for it. Go for the nicest thing. And I did that. And the first thing, it went pretty well. And now I did that a couple of days ago again. And the days after were terrible in terms of having the desire to continue eating sweets. That was really tough.
Right. Yeah. So that's always tricky. Whether you go for it and then your addiction, if it really comes back, then you have to really try your willpower. That's one of the most difficult state. I don't know what the answer is. Is it if I would have told you, no, don't touch it at all, would that have
I
been
don't know.
better? But it's something that we are also learning, and in KetoSpan, we are also adapting our protocol. Jorim, thank you very much for this experience, and we hope you continue on your recovery journey and get completely really rid of all your symptoms very soon.
Hope so too. Thank you.